Hello! Hello and welcome back to The Luck We Had, a shameless recap podcast. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Amanda.
I'm one of your other hopes. I'm Evan.
I'm your other host. My name is Lena.
And we are recording this in the time machine on September 17th. Because as you will have heard in the thing that we posted, I don't know how long ago, depending on when this episode went up.
We just recorded it, though. We just recorded it.
There is actively a SAG and a WGA strike going on. So these episodes are delayed. We're in the time machine. And if you're listening to this, that means the strike is over and SAG and the WGA reached a fair deal.
Or media will never be the same ever again.
Or media will never be the same.
Yeah, that's the dark ending.
Oops.
But
we don't want to think about that.
we're hoping for the first one.
Yes.
But we are continuing. We're going on with our recap of season 6 of Shameless and my very first time ever seeing these episodes. And we're super excited.
It's about to get crazy.
I was watching 603 today, and I was just like giggling to myself. It's such a silly season. It's such a silly season.
I've also been in the midst of, I'm still in my Star Trek era, but I'm like taking my time to finish Deep Space Nine because I love it so much and I don't want it to end. And also because of Good Omens and David Tennant's existence, I started rewatching Doctor Who.
Are you watching doesn't Seth MacFarlane have a Star Trek show?
No,
I think he does. Or he has like
You're
a space
joking.
show.
he has a show that was a spoof of Star Trek.
Okay, sorry.
Was that-
Sorry.
What was that
Starts with
called?
the O.
Was
Starts
it on?
with an O.
It was on HBO or something.
I don't know.
Oh, The Orville.
Yeah, that show.
Yeah, it ended.
Gotcha.
It ended. Yeah, 2 years ago. But it has Adrian Palicki in it.
Who's that?
Who dat?
She was in Supernatural, was she not?
Who in Supernatural?
Adrian Palicki?
Adrienne Palicki.
Was she Meg?
Does it just sound like Padalecki? Is that why you think that?
Nope, she was Jessica.
No way!
I knew that because she
Jessica's
sounds
literally
so
in
much
3
because
whole
it sounds
episodes.
so much like Padalecki that I was
Yeah.
like, I
Gotcha.
remembered her and Jared being in scenes together because their last.
She's
sisters are
pretty.
similar.
She was in something
Yeah.
else I remember watching, being like, that's Jessica. Amanda, so you are still watching episode by episode, so you're only caught up to 602, correct?
602 is all I've seen. Yep.
This is gonna be so entertaining.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first like full episode that I haven't seen not a second of. Because I had seen 601 before.
When you watched that episode, did you just like skim that one? When you first watched it, you just like skimmed and said Mickey.
Well, yeah, 601 I watched when the season premiered, like hoping for a return of Mickey.
Oh,
and then when it was clear that was all we were getting, I gave up.
Yeah, real. So,
couple of things I guess we can say before we start going into the episode. That bunch of shameless peeps have been picketing together. Cam and Isadore picketed like a couple days ago, just them two.
there was
Yeah.
a whole
And
group. It was
then-
basically everybody except like
Emmy and
Emmy,
I don't think
Emma.
Cam wasn't there that
Ethan,
day.
Yeah.
Cam was like still in the UK or something because he said
And
he posted that he went to like drama school again.
And Emmy had a fresh baby to take care of. So
Yeah, wait, I forgot she had another baby.
But it was like Shanola, Steve, Zach McGowan, Noel, Layla.
Freaking, they got Jody.
Yeah, that was Zach McGowan.
Seeing him was wild. I'm like, oh my god, I love him.
Jeremy was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent this to
Yeah.
you guys on Instagram, but Noel ended up going and picketing like another day, just like him and another buddy from like a show he was with. And like the only comment was like, cool, bump into Cam. It was just so
They hate
funny.
his ass. Yeah.
I love that they got Zach McGowan to come. And
Mhm.
there was something else about that picket. But like, I love seeing them all together. And yeah, Cam and Isadora picketed together. And we love a shameless themed picket. Fuck the AMPTP.
Wait, I have a thing I can say. I met Dermot Mulroney, guys.
did?
I met
Yeah.
Sean. I met Sean. What was this, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago now,
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah.
Was he nice?
He was nice. I don't know. I did not know how old he was because I was like, damn, he's dilfy and shameless. Homeboy is a silver fox through and through now. Like there's
for
not
real.
there's only gray hair on his body, but he still
was,
looks good.
When he was in Righteous Gemstones, I was like, "What's up?"
I was like,
Speaking
hey,
of dilfs, ever since the announcement of the separation, Jeremy Allen has been paparazzi'd shirtless
so
very
much.
many times.
It makes me roll my eyes a little bit at his like publicist and shit because I'm like, dude,
Wasn't he spotted with some girl hiking and they were like,
so
Ooh.
staged, so unbelievably staged.
Listen,
Like, when
of
you're
all
coming
the
down a
celebrity,
but it
of
makes
all
me
the
laugh. It
celebrity
makes me
PR
laugh.
stories right now, just like calling the paps on yourself because you look hot, fine.
Jeremy
Yeah,
got the abs
I'm like,
for
all right,
it though.
whatever. Who cares?
At least he looks good.
Yeah. Him and Ayo Edebiri is having just the grandest year. Just
oh
the
God, I
grandest
saw
and the
Bottoms
greatest.
and it was so good.
It was the funniest movie I've ever seen.
But you
I
know what I'm
laughed
gonna
so
say?
hard.
You know what I'm gonna
What are
say?
you gonna say?
I enjoyed Theater Camp more.
I haven't seen
Way
it yet.
more.
Interesting.
Is it on HBO?
It's on Hulu now. Theater
Okay.
Camp is.
Okay, I need to watch that. I've not.
It made
watched
me
that
laugh
yet.
a lot harder than Bottoms did, I think. Bottoms was good at what it was trying to do though. Like it succeeded in what in the type of movie it set out to be. I just think like my personal style of humor
Because
aligns more
that
with Theater
stars Ben Platt, and then I forget his name.
Io's in it. Molly Gordon.
Io's in it, yeah.
Noah Galvin.
Noah Galvin.
Yeah, Noah Galvin. That's
who's
what I was gonna say.
Who's married or engaged to Ben Platt.
I think they're
now.
married
Yeah.
now.
Noah Galvin's the one with the talent in that relationship. That's
Yes.
the guy.
Noah's really good.
Oh,
in
and
Dear
it's
Evan
it's
Hansen.
made very clear in the movie, by the way. Jimmy Tatro, who's absolutely hilarious in this movie. Yeah. Amy
I really
Sedaris
wanna
is in
see
the
that.
beginning. I love
Oh.
it.
You know what movie I did watch for the first time? I watched Shiva Baby the other day.
Shiva Baby is
Love
so
that
good.
Great movie.
That was my Ladybird. It was so
I thought I was gonna have a panic attack. It was awesome.
My favorite little thing with Shiva Baby is that I was a screener for the New Fest, the New York New Fest, the year that Shiva Baby was submitted. So I got
That's
to
awesome.
watch it while it was in the screening process to get into a festival. And I
That's
watched it and I was like,
awesome.
this is the best fucking movie I've ever seen.
yeah, it's
I
good
did
as fuck.
I did some silly timing when that movie was being filmed. Diana Agron was doing her residency at the Carlisle Hotel, and that's when I got to see her perform. So I think I like saw her while the reason why she was like in New York for a while was probably
Oh, I
like
see.
she was like, let me do some like singing and then also go because they
Movie on the
filmed in like
side?
yeah, because I think
They
they
filmed
filmed
out
in
in
like
the
upstate
suburbs.
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were all NYU babies, so it's like
Yeah.
they,
Oh, yeah.
they were in the area.
But great movie. I had an amazing time watching it.
Yes.
Guys,
But any other
I'm scared.
shamey news?
not shameless news, but in 13 days now, I'm going to meet the Workaholics guys.
I saw you texted about that.
'Cause they're going on tour. Me and Adam Devine will have been in a room together. What will
Damn.
happen?
Mm.
Probably the world's
Is it
gonna
meet and
explode,
greet, or are they
probably.
doing like a live podcast, or is it like a comedy show?
It's both. So I
Ooh.
have meet and greet tickets to the live podcast.
Gotcha.
And
That's awesome.
you can bring stuff for them to sign, or so people did at the Boston show. So I am bringing my linoleum print.
Are they still posting? Because their podcast is a rewatch podcast, right?
No, it isn't.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's literally just, and it actually has
Banter.
It's just banter. It's literally a white guys talking podcast, but they talk about like farts and penis and whatever. So it's
Love.
and they're really gay. So yeah, that's I mean they talk about workaholics sometimes, but not
it's not like a
not in a way of like promoting it.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, and they literally said, they were like, yeah, Suits is like having a moment right now with everybody rewatching, but they were like, because of the strike, like we get none of those residuals. If you guys are gonna blow up Workaholics, do it after the strike's over.
Yeah.
They literally
Yeah.
said that. They were like, we want the money from it. Like, I mean, because they did everything on that show too. Wrote, directed, produced, starred in, like they did everything. So it's like they were like, if you're gonna blow it up, Wait till after.
And you know what Zoe and Stevie are going to do in a month?
Oh my god, I was there for the drama of if they were even gonna get there, and
They're
the
gonna
fact
meet-
that they are.
Well, hold on. They're going to meet David Tennant and Tom Hiddleston.
No way.
Yeah.
Everybody is
So-
freaking out on tour right now. I kind of love it. I'm like, yeah, we're all meeting each other right now. Like,
No.
Well, this
it's
is
awesome.
Comic-Con. This is Comic-Con.
They're
Yeah.
going to New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Because when I was there a couple weeks ago, they were on the waiting list to even get admission tickets.
Yeah.
So they finally got admission tickets within like the last 2 weeks, and then were able to buy the photo op tickets.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. So like what the way Comic Con is that you cannot buy a photo op ticket without like a code from your physical admission ticket. So like tickets
right,
don't
'cause
sell
they need
out
to
before
make
the
sure
other
people
thing.
are, people are
Oh, I
actually
didn't know
in
that.
the convention
Yeah,
when they're doing
so that's what,
photo
like,
ops.
That's why like Zoe and Stevie were a little bit more stressed because they were nervous that it was going to sell out because they didn't even have admission tickets yet because they had to wait until Stevie got the confirmation that she could just even buy them
Yeah.
that. But I was so happy. Like I saw in their story like a week later and I was just like, yes!
Yeah, they found a guy on eBay selling Comic-Con passes, and they like looked him up. They checked that he was legit. They like checked his reviews and everything, and they've been tracking. And Zoe like messaged him the other day to check in, and she's like, "Did you receive the physical passes yet?" Like, and he's like sent a picture of the passes and the tracking. He's like, "They got here today. I'm sending them out tomorrow." Like, he seems
That's
legit.
awesome.
So
That's sweet. I love eBay. I feel like people are so legit on eBay.
yeah,
Like, and not
I
legit
bought
on
California
other
raisins
sites.
off of eBay.
Mhm.
Pristine
People take
condition.
eBay seriously.
Zoe's gonna try to meet Reese Darby too, because he's gonna be there. But
Who
I
dat?
was just gonna ask you about
Our flag means
because
stuff.
I saw
Mm.
that like a season 2 trailer came out for
Mhm.
that show.
I am going to maintain my calmness until it is up in its completion on Max, because I do not trust them to not just pull the plug and not post it.
Especially with everything like being canceled and stuff like that.
Fucking A League of Their Own. Ugh.
Did you finish What We Do in the Shadows? Do you watch
It-
What We
yeah.
Do in the Shadows?
The
I
newest
have
season,
not
I just
watched
finished
this.
it.
I have not watched this season at all.
It's so
not
good.
gonna lie. I know. I watched like the first 2 episodes actually, but I never I haven't finished it yet.
It's Matt Berry's strongest season.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Because he went through such an arc last season. I
Yeah.
believe that. But
It's fucking excellent.
yeah. I'm a little tired of whatever's going on between Guillermo and Nandor. Like, not in the sense of like
Oh no. You have to hold out.
no, I know, because I know they're still on the like will they won't they train, but I'm just kind of like, okay, will they or won't they?
No, the end
I'm
of
sick
this
of waiting.
season is so satisfying in that regard that like I really think you're gonna like it.
The only other show news I saw was just did both of you watch The Last of Us, right?
I got halfway through it, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
Um,
they have already like casted Abby, who's going to be a very like large character in like the remaining half of the Last of Us thing. And then I can't find this actress's name because I'm stupid, but they have a theory that's going to be this one girl from I think it's like that show The Wilds. Was it?
oh, I
forget
think
her
I know the
name.
one
it's
you're
like
talking
Shannon
about.
something.
Did she play like yeah. She's like the
She's like the very like buff.
yeah. She
But I don't
she
know, I
looks
saw
good
that
in
theory.
The Wilds.
That's it's either The Wilds or this other.
Shannon Berry.
Yeah. I
With
think
the bob.
that's
She's got some short hair going on.
yeah. So I think there's a theory.
Yes.
Yeah, her. So there's no confirmation. There's confirmation that she's been casted but not released. But everyone has a thought that it might be her. And I was like, if that girl just like gets a little bit more jacked, I was like, she'd be a perfect Abby. If you guys have ever seen like the game model for the character, but like they
I
have
think I
very
did when
great
people
faces.
were posting their like fan castings. Like I think I did. See.
I love it. Because
All right.
there's no other real fan castings besides there's a character named Lev in the show, and he's played by that one kid from the OA, that the one trans masculine kid. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
I never watched the OA.
I forget his name, but he was the body character and motion capture for his character in the game, and I was like, he'd be perfect to play his character in the show. Like he just
Yeah.
needs to shave his head, and he's good.
I keep rewatching Heartstopper. It means everything to me.
I still have yet to see season 2.
I've never watched that show either.
I read
me.
the comics, but yeah, I still have yet to.
Season 2 covers up through the end of book 3. It's fucking incredible. It's so amazing.
They go on their like France trip, right?
Yeah.
Is that the whole thing?
The France trip is part of it, and then it's also like
do they start
Nick taking his
into
GCSEs.
Yeah, and they kind of start diving into the Charlie's like, issues, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And also Tara and Darcy have an amazing arc, and so does Elle. Elle gets to be surrounded by trans people who love art. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
From the comics.
Anyway,
they do stay very true to the comics. Like
yep, because Alice writes
shocking.
the show.
Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of shocking how loyal they are to the original plot.
Some of it's shot for shot. Like,
yeah, for real.
But Alice Osmond writes the show. That's why.
Did we talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue yet? I don't think we did.
God, I hated the movie so bad. I hated it so bad.
The guy in that movie was in Bottoms.
Because Nicholas Galitzine or whatever has like serious gay face in the best way ever.
Have either of you read the book?
He was in Bottoms, right?
I read the book after. He was in Bottoms. He was hilarious in Bottoms.
Yeah,
I did read the book, and I will agree with you. The movie lost a lot of the nuance, but I was also like, what else can I expect from Amazon Studios? Like,
no, but like fucking Casey McQuiston was involved in the scriptwriting process too, and like they cut both of the sisters out of the movie. The parents are not divorced in the movie. The president feels like a fucking side character. They cut out the important other character that betrayed Alex. Like, how is Uma Thurman in your movie and it's still such a hot piece of garbage? I don't understand.
First of all, how was Uma Thurman a hot piece of garbage in that movie? Like her accent was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was Foghorn Leghorn. It was ridiculous.
No, yeah. I was like this... But at the same time, like, just watching it because to be fair, I didn't read the book before I watched the movie. I knew nothing about the plot. Watching it was hilarious. I was like, this is a meme of a movie. But if I had been involved in that sphere before, I think I would have been pretty disappointed. So
they ripped the soul out of that book. Like, oh God, it made me so mad. It made me so fucking mad. But the fact that they didn't
the little Blondie, he makes me laugh.
They didn't include the poetry that is in the emails, which is the entire reason you fall in love with their relationship. I could go on and on. I hated it so bad. Anyway, on to a show I don't hate.
Stop.
Yeah, I mean, we love to hate it. Especially an episode that's so much about Debbie. This episode is so much about Debbie.
You know what I learned is that normal people don't watch Shameless. Sorry.
Eventually, like, the Debbie stuff, she just starts to piss you off so consistently that you don't even mind anymore.
No, dude, I was able to block out her scenes
it's like,
watching.
Well, because it is also like, oh, she's a villain. Oh, she's a
her
villain.
villain
Like, I'm not supposed to like feel bad for her anymore. I'm not supposed to root for her. Like, I can literally just be like, this fucking bitch every time.
So let's move on to the episode. We've caught up on all of our other nonsense. Let's move on to the episode. Season 6, episode 2, #abortion rules. This episode was filmed in a time where Roe v. Wade did exist, January 17, 2016. It was written by Nancy Pimentel. Nancy has written 26 episodes.
That's our girl.
This is the 14th of 26 episodes that Nancy writes. I didn't name them all. She wrote 3 episodes in season 1, 3 episodes in season 2, 2 episodes in season 3, 3 episodes in season 4, 2 episodes in season 5, this one and 1 more in season 6, 2 episodes in season 7, 2 episodes in season 8, 3 episodes in season 9, 2 in season 11, and 2 in season 10. She is the only consistent writer other than John Wells.
Amanda said,
series.
I'm not going to read out all of those episode titles. Nancy, we've given you enough credit.
That's close to a quarter of total episodes.
Because what, there's 70 or 80 episodes of Shameless?
There's over 100.
There's over 100? For some reason I thought there was only 80.
I remember when they had like a 100 episode party.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's 12 a season and there were 11 seasons. So there's so like a little over 120.
2 or 3 episodes in a season that lasts 12 or 13 episodes, and you've done it through every season. She's written so much of this show.
Our girl.
Hope she gets paid the residuals she fucking deserves.
Who is Sheila Callahan? People used to call her like Mrs. Galovich because
Mrs. Galovich.
She wrote like all of their scenes.
Yeah. This episode was directed by another returning director, Ian B. McDonald. But this is his first one of 17 Shameless episodes.
Hey, Ian.
It's this one and 608 Be a Good Boy, Come for Grandma.
I hate that episode so much.
Insane
I hate that episode so
Insane
much.
episode.
Amanda, if you think that
don't
line
even
is
understand.
bad, like, you're not ready for that scene.
I mean, the title sounds like something Aaron Taylor Johnson's wife would say to him, so.
Ooh, too soon. Did you see that post about the it's like the motherly like claw or something like that? Someone did an analyst of like a pic of him and his wife, and it was so funny.
Ian also did 708 Home Sweet Homeless Shelter.
That episode's good.
801 We Become What We Frank.
Good one.
805 The Miseducation of Liam Fergus Burkhardt, big name Gallagher. 807 Occupy Fiona, and 811 A Gallagher Pedicure.
Evil one.
I don't know if I remember that one.
A Gallagher Pedicure, I think I know what that refers to.
Debbie cutting off her toe.
Oh!
901 Are You There, Shim? It's Me, Ian.
That episode's good.
911 The Hobo Games. 913 The Lost.
Wait, 913. You mean was it 912?
No, it was 913. There were 13 episodes in that
13
season.
episodes in season. What the
I think
F?
was it to give Fiona a send off? Be like, bye, bitch. Last episode.
Probably. Season 9 was strange.
It was weird. I didn't like it.
He did 1004 A Little Gallagher Goes a Long Way. And then in season 11, he did 1101 This is Chicago. 1102 Go Home Gentrifier. 1104 NIMBY. 1106 Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good. Screw it. 1109 Survivors. And 1111 The Fickle Lady Calls It Quits.
Damn, he said season 11's mine. He said, fuck you, John Wells.
When I think of this, I really just think about how season 11 looked like a sitcom the entire time.
Yeah.
But also, 1111 was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to think about
I
this
don't
guy.
know. But
what I
so
know
right.
is that he has the most UK name, period. Ian with an I in the middle.
IAIN.
MacDonald. This dude is like Irish or Scottish or just the UK in general.
And he directed the show Preacher, which I think is a UK production, and also Poker Face, which is fucking awesome. Poker Face is great.
Do you think he was brought in by Mark Mylod?
Oh, probably.
Because of the Britishness of it all.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mark Mylod, king of TV, high key.
He didn't have any Shameless original series directing credits that I could see, but he might, know him.
Probably.
The synopsis of this episode, again, it's Debbie heavy. Debbie carries a bag of flour around all day, determined to prove to Fiona wrong about her ability to raise a child while going to school. She quickly realizes people are not as accommodating to mothers and babies as she hoped. That's it. That's the whole fucking synopsis. It's all about Debbie.
I hate you, Debbie. I hate you and your stupid flour, baby.
Ugh. The previously on was done by Lip, smoking on the porch. Jeremy Allen White, king. Previously on Shameless. Bianca died, and Frank is all torn up about it. Sean wants to make Fiona assistant manager. Oh, and they're fucking. Lip got mad and beat up the guy he thought Helene was fucking, except it was her son.
Forgot that happened.
Insane.
Carl brought home a friend from juvie. He's a quiet but imposing young man. Ian's kind of slacking at work. Debbie's pregnant, but she lied to Fiona about it until Derek's parents came to the house to discuss it.
Yeah. I forgot about Nick, too.
Yeah. Opening credits. And then we go with Fiona waking up in bed with Sean. She's been up all night tossing and turning, freaking out about the fact that Debbie is pregnant. And he tries to take her mind off. This scene is actually kind of awesome.
No, okay, but I'm gonna say something. When I watched this scene yesterday, I skipped it because it's just too sensual for me. He like just like he like puts his hand over her mouth.
Is it also weird now that you've met him?
Yeah, kind
To
of.
be like,
like he'd be
hey.
like, I don't know, but also you saw the way I was texting when I met him that day, so.
But yeah, no, it is very sensual. Like they have chemistry.
No, it's hot. Sorry,
yeah,
it's good, but like I think
hot.
It's for the middle of the day, like making a sandwich. I had to like cross my legs and like skip a couple seconds.
You were like, no thanks.
Yeah, I said not right now. This is for when the lights are off.
Cause yeah, he puts his hand over her mouth to stop her from thinking and talking, and like calm her mind and her body, and then he fucks her nice and slow. Like it's good.
I hate this show.
It's
this show is softcore porn.
He's a man that could only be written.
Yeah. He's a romance novel man. Yeah.
Not even. Sean is not perfect.
But he tells her they do that. Like, damn. And he tells her someone is coming to work to give her a drug test because she's the assistant manager and she's in charge of money now, so she has to take a drug test.
And he's like, I'm a dip.
Carl is enjoying some morning porn in a full room because he's a little weirdo. But then he wakes up Nick and assures him, like, hey man, you don't have to sleep with a hammer under your pillow. Like, no one's gonna come get you in this house. Which, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
But it's a safer house.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, there are a lot of people sleeping in that room. Like it's not like someone's gonna go for him, you know?
Yeah. At the ball house, Kev is trying to use subliminal messages to make the twins pro tennis players, which is just so funny. They could be the next Coco Gauff.
So good. Yeah.
And meanwhile, V tries to get down and sexy with him. And he, unlike previously, like they've broken through it, he is into it, but Giannis is screaming down the street.
Forgot about Giannis too.
Giannis.
Fuck. It's been too long since we've recorded.
I know.
Like,
Dude, I think that last episode we recorded was so silly. But that fucking lemon photo, dude.
Oh, the lemons.
The lemons. God, I just can't wait till we can post that episode just because, like, the collection, like, the montage of photos to go with that episode is so good.
But Giannis's pit bulls are being taken by animal control because the leases called animal control on him. And Kev goes screaming over to him. He's like, man, you have to shut the fuck up. You just woke up my kids. Like, you're causing a disturbance. And Lisa is like, yes, thank you for getting him to quiet down. And Kev's like, whoa, fuck you too, first of all.
You caused all this mess.
Yeah, he's like, this neighborhood was fine, and then you moved in. And now it's a fucking nightmare. And yeah, they're like, this man is the problem. He's like, no. Giannis has lived here forever, and now you're here, and now Giannis is yelling. Common denominator, bitch. This is you.
And they do not like that. They give him a nasty look.
Yeah. At the house, Fiona looks for Debbie, but Debbie's gone. And then Fiona goes to check in on Ian's meds, but he catches her, and he's like, don't fucking count my meds. I can handle my own shit. Frank is asleep on the couch because he can't sleep in his bed because of Bianca memories in his bed. And Fiona's like, I am so fucking sick and tired of hearing about your goddamn dead girlfriend. And he's like, that is so rude, and leaves.
It's so funny.
But it's also like, bro, she was like the same age as your daughter.
Yeah.
Very, very strange behavior. But she did kind of look like Monica.
She did.
Yeah.
Fiona finds Debbie and Nick and Carl and Liam in the kitchen. Because Debbie just wasn't in her room, but she's in the kitchen. And Fiona asks, hey, Nick, how long are you planning to stay? But Nick doesn't really talk, so she didn't really get a clear answer. And then Fiona's like, hey, I made an appointment at Planned Parenthood for an abortion for Friday. But Debbie's like, that's not part of my plan, actually.
Debbie's, like, such a bitch, but, like, she's so funny. Like, the way she's just, like, dodges everyone this episode.
Yeah, and Debbie goes all, like, pro-life, like, my child is the size of... And Fiona's like, okay, fuck you. Have you thought about what being a teen mother, it would be like? Put a second of thought into it.
No, seriously.
And Carl seems to agree that Debbie should not be a mom right now, because he gives Fiona a few $100s for the abortion.
He is so funny. He's so real sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know he's, like, doing his whole posturing thing right now. He's like, I'm trying to be black. But, like, he's funny sometimes.
At his core, Carl is a good person. He just doesn't know how to do that. So it comes out in very weird and unreliable and not good ways. But like he's trying. He's a little confused, but he got the spirit.
Because they're in this weird era of like trying to rebrand Carl as like white, like savior of the neighborhood. Like this is like the beginning of them. Like, did you notice that, Lena? Like this is like the rebranding of like good Carl, but like he's still on from the South Side. Because I feel like then he goes to like the fucking like police academy and then like all this other shit. Like
it's so weird because they do like they handle it so wrong. Like I feel like they had kind of a good the right idea in like this season where it's like Carl is good for the neighborhood by being a productive part of it, but then they just go too far over and they send him to like military school instead.
Yeah, and then he comes back and then they like ramp him up even more to be like
and
savior
he
of the
becomes
neighborhood.
a cop instead, and it's like I don't know. I think
really liked
the
Vigilante
military
Carl.
Yeah,
Vigilante Carl's great. I think that like when it comes to like military and stuff, there was something to be said about like Ian specifically too, with like how like JROTC and stuff like preys on disadvantaged kids with like not a lot of structure in the house. Like there was something to be said about that, especially with Ian and like his kind of like black sheep complex.
Yeah,
you know, he wants somewhere where he can like fit in and stuff, but I don't think it was right to then try to put Carl through it.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. Like it obviously, Amanda, as you watch this season, it felt a little
shoehorned, just a little.
You'll get a bit more context clues about like certain circumstances they put Carl through, like within the next couple of seasons. But it's just like it's still like Carl at heart, but like he's just in like a big rebrand right now because like him from like last season and then compare him to like season what is it like, because he's gone for what, all of season 8, Lena, or all of season like 7? He's gone all of season 8.
I think it's all of season 8, but or maybe not like the whole thing. He's gone for a good like chunk of season 7, I feel like,
and then he comes back he
comes back in the finale, but
I think it's like the show, like, we need to introduce structure to Carl, and they didn't know how to do that. That
he
wasn't
never had
the prison or military.
Right. Like, I feel like they really struggled. Well, because at one point, he gets a job at...
And like holds it for, like, an entire 2
like,
seasons.
The fish fry place
the fish fry,
Anne?
Yeah.
This is the season of Anne, is it not?
No, that's next.
No, that's season 10.
No, that's not till season 10.
No.
Because this is all of...
Who am I thinking of?
This is Dominique's era. Are you thinking of the Annapolis girl?
No, who's his, like, Spanish girlfriend?
That's season 10.
That's season 10. That's Anne. Okay, that's the fish... He was working the fish fry job, right?
Yeah, season 10.
Yeah.
That
so
wasn't until...
This is Dominique.
This is Dominique, and then after Dominique is the Annapolis girl, the military girl with the dad.
There was potential for like with Dominique.
Oh wait,
and her dad,
we're about to get.
Her dad's a cop.
We're gonna get that other crazy bitch. I forget her name.
I think there's a girl at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
but
that's later. That's season like 9. But I think that like there was potential for Carl to have like a meaningful arc where like he does go full into the cop thing through his relationship with Dominique's father, but then they blew up that relationship. Yeah, so it's just it kind of falls apart.
Right, the derail on Carl, it just like made me think for a second, because I was just like, oh, this really like sets it up for how Carl turns into like he went from whiteboard.
It does start laying the foundations. It does start laying the foundations. So it's like it had a lot of potential actually this season. I think I could see where they were starting to go, and then I mean, we'll see as we watch, but like I think we'll figure out kind of the moment where it like fell apart.
Yeah, for sure.
It did have a lot of potential.
He hands Fiona that money for Nick's room and board and for the abortion. And Fiona takes the money and has a look on her face that she is mildly concerned as to where Carl got a few $100s from, but she is a little bit too busy to ask any follow-up questions. She just accepts it and moves the fuck on.
Love her for that.
Yeah. Debbie takes a bag of flour and tells Fiona she's going to use it to prove to Fiona that she's ready to be a literal mother.
Because a bag of flowers exactly like a baby.
Yeah, Fiona didn't ask her to do that to prove it. She was like, no, I'm gonna show you with this bag of flour. And Fiona's like, okay.
Well, and Fiona
how?
was definitely like a bag of flour.
Yeah. And that's on the
Like-
American education system, babe.
No, exactly.
Because did they legitimately do that, like, back in the day for, like, certain, like, home ed classes and stuff like that?
Uh-huh. Eggs,
That's so
bags
funny.
of flour. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lip is at Helene's house, and he's fucking her while her husband sings from the shower. Yeah, and while she's riding him, he's like, so we're cool about the whole me beating up your son thing? She's like, am I really riding your dick right now while you ask me that question?
This dynamic is just, like, to die for. Like, I love it.
Because then they start like, ha ha ha, what if I killed your husband? Ha ha ha, what if you did kill my husband? Like, what?
Make it look like an accident,
If I was the husband,
JK.
I'd be scared. I would be like,
He's literally like omelets, and they're like, let's murder him.
and he's
that
like,
guy.
hey, we're joking, right? And she's like, I don't know, are we joking? Like, what? Helene.
Literally.
No, because I'm like, is that like sexy sensual talk, or is she literally being like, murder my husband?
I think
Yeah.
it's just sensual. It's like her husband literally lets her do whatever she wants.
He's the goat.
Like, she literally gets to fuck other people. Like,
He literally
whatever.
says, he even says that to Lip. He was like, you know, I'm the only reason you're fucking my wife, right?
Yeah.
No, literally.
And then we join Carl, who's earning. We're figuring out where he got those $100. He's going to local businesses and offering them neighborhood protection by pointing to Nick through the window, using him as like intimidating muscle standing outside. And that's
You know what?
that's how he's getting his coin.
I respect that as his hustle.
Uh,
I'm like, there's nothing like truly illegal about it either. It's literally
It's just
like,
mob behavior.
A subtle
right.
threat.
But I'm like, this is kind of silly. Like, I don't know. I'm like, okay.
And back at the house, Ian and Debbie are bitching about how overprotective Fiona's being. Him about his meds, her about the literal baby she's about to have. And I get it. I get it that it feels overbearing and that she's not your mom. And so you're very teenager about it and you're like, let me live my own life. But oh my God, she raised you and she's trying to take care of your mental health and the fact that you're going to be a teen mother. Like,
not to be that bitch, but like, they grew up in the area where like they're surrounded by that shit, and you see the struggles and the bullshit that you have to go through if you choose those lanes of actions. Like this entire season, like you see Debbie like chatting up all like the other pregnant girls or like teen moms in the school, and I'm like, girl, do you not see this does not look fun? Do you not see the
Right,
struggle
at the
they are having?
same
They are telling
time-
you, like, even the one girl, she was like, my vagina is not the same.
At the same time, though, I can see why she thinks like it would be great for her because she's grown up taking care of her littler siblings. Like that is also something that happens in those communities where they take care of each other's kids. You know, like she was babysitting by the time she was like 4 or 5, like newborns.
but
But
I don't know
but
why.
what she doesn't understand is how much of a full-time job it is, which Fiona gets because Fiona gave up everything for them.
Yeah, I don't know
Debbie-
why it never connected for Debbie that Fiona was a teen mom. Because, by default, because of Monica,
Mm-hmm.
like, suddenly there was Liam and Debbie and Carl and Ian, and, like, Fiona was a teen mom. Fucking listen to her, Debbie.
It's just bitchy teenager, just like don't want to listen to your higher ups.
Like, Debbie got the little tasks of, like, can you help carry Liam? Can you change his diaper? Can you bring him to school with you? Like, the little, like, but Fiona was raising you. Why don't you get it?
Yeah,
that she
Fiona was
raising
buying
you?
the diapers and the
Like
food
it
that
never,
you were bringing.
right? Like taking care of Liam never got in the way of Debbie's schooling, or you know, like she didn't have a job to hold down like that. Like it
Yeah.
was just like, yeah.
Because
I don't
Fiona
know.
made sure of it. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Fiona, she's all dressed up in her assistant manager look. She's looking very professional, and she's asking her coworkers advice about her knocked up sister. But Melinda is a little bit busy giving Fiona shit about having the assistant manager position, which, like, Melinda, you are real for that. Like, yeah, she's fucking the boss, and now
Yeah.
she's
Right,
your
like
boss.
it was
I love
definitely
Melinda because like
favoritism.
she's so petty, but then they're like, Melinda, like you're not good at your job, and she's like, okay, and like I want more money.
No, she's like, and she's also like, it's not necessarily about the fact that I don't have it. It's about the fact that she does.
Yeah. Sean comes in during all of this and asks, hey, how did the Debbie thing go? And gotta say, he kind of kills it as a boyfriend. Like, as of this moment, I am a fan of Sean. Like,
Sean's
he kinda
always
rocks.
asking about everyone else. He'll be like, how's Ian? How's Lip doing?
He really did like try.
Yeah.
He really tried. I don't know. Yeah. It is really a bummer the way things like panned out with Sean specifically.
And Fiona asked, does it make me a bad person that I kind of hope Debbie has a miscarriage and like this decision gets made for us? And Sean's like, I don't think so. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so either.
Is it like when she's talking to V where she's like, I can crush up some like fucking like shit and put it in her juice? Or
Mhm. But for the moment, we go back to Lip, who is having not at all incredibly awkward morning interaction with Helene's son and husband.
Doesn't his son still have like a gnarly shiner too?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Lips punches pack a wallop.
Yep. But Lip does apologize for beating him up and for the misunderstanding. And that is when, like you said, Evan, the husband's like, you do know I'm the only reason you're fucking my wife. Like, you know that, right?
Yeah, doesn't the son say something funny? He was like, you want to fuck my dad too? And he's like, bye, daddy. And then the dad is like, I'm the only reason you're fucking my wife.
We were just plotting to kill you. Anyway, we join Frank at the Alibi, who's smoking weed from a hookah with a hipster, because the Alibi has become like a hipster spot. And
Are they
Kev
smoking
says,
weed or are they just smoking a hookah?
I don't know.
It's
the implication
unclear.
seemed like they were smoking weed from a hookah.
Huh.
Yeah. And Kev says, hey, you can't light that up in here. And Svetlana, the icon of one-liners. They pay $12 for espresso. They can smoke my balls if they want. And V's like, yeah, fucking light it up. I don't care.
They're already
Overpaid
cheaping
for shit.
cigarettes in there. Like, what's a little weed gonna do?
Like, you're fine.
And
yeah.
definitely, Frank has smoked a joint in there before. Like, what are you talking about?
The hipster asks if Frank has any of Bianca's stuff. And he tells Frank, if you do, take it all to the hospital where you met her and light it all on fire to get rid of her memory from your life.
He's like, that's what my guru told me to do.
Fire near a hospital sounds really sound.
Yep.
I know these bitches are definitely smoking weed.
Meanwhile, Kev is like, sorry, where the fuck did we get an espresso machine? And Svet's like, oh, Carl and Nick stole it from the coffee place. So,
I think
Icon.
she says, like, Carl and Big Scary Man.
yeah. Icon, businesswoman, working together with her local community providers. It's fantastic. Debbie gets on the train and asks a couple of guys, give up a seat for me and my baby. And they look at her like she's insane. But then they eventually do give her the seat.
No, they literally, like, go, like, they're like, dude, like, she's, like, slow. Like, give it to her.
Yeah.
It's, like, so
clearly
bad.
something
It's
wrong with
so
her.
bad.
Fiona continues. She starts a campaign of texting Debbie #abortion rules and like abortion facts and teen mom facts just like over and over and over again in this episode. And Debbie sees that, ignores it, tries to call Derek and doesn't get an answer.
True to life.
At school, Carl asks one of the teachers to take Carl's backpack into the school with him. He like pulls him over in front of the school. He's like, hey, bring this into the school with you and meet me by the janitor's closet. And we find out that Carl picked this teacher to do this task because this teacher has a prosthetic leg that would have set off the metal detectors anyway. And so he didn't get flagged for the shit that's in his bag.
That actually is so funny because like, he's definitely done that for Carl before because he's like,
right,
no.
I'm like, it's funny that he actually agreed.
Because like, doesn't
Yeah.
he like slip him like a 20 or something like that? He's like, hey, like, don't
I'm
ask any
sure.
questions.
Well, he's selling something that all of the teachers want.
Mm.
So I'm assuming the coyote got it for free.
Frank, meanwhile, brings, on the advice of the hipster, brings a box of Bianca stuff into the hospital and tries to light it on fire in the emergency room.
He just like walks up into a random room. He's like, "This will work."
Surely this is fine. Uh, and security almost takes him down because what the fuck are you doing? But then a doctor who recognizes him because she knew Bianca says like, whoa, actually, I will take care of this one.
Because he's like, isn't he like screaming her name? And she's like, whoa, Bianca? And he's like, yes. And she's like, you must be Frank.
You must be Frank, yeah.
Yeah. At work, Sean leaves in the middle of the lunch rush to go to a meeting, and Ian shows up late, which pisses Fiona off. And she's even further pissed off that he didn't talk Debbie out of having a baby. And then he tells her, you can't tell someone what to do with their own body, Fiona. And like, the words are right, but the context is wrong.
Yeah, because he's thinking about it because he's like, wow, I can't believe Fiona's forcing me and Debbie to do something we don't want to do. So, like, of course he's not going to, like, back Fiona up because she's pissing him off right now because she's like, meds.
Right, it's like, yeah. He's like, okay.
He's not going to be on your side right now.
At school, Lip is in a meeting with the teacher he TAs for while he's being told that he is being put up for an internship. And Lip's like, yeah, I don't work without getting paid, actually. So, no thank you. But in the middle of that, Fiona calls with the continuation of the Debbie saga. And the teacher's like, hey, if you pay your dues now as an intern, the contacts you make in that will pay off, like everybody says about an internship. But the contacts will be so important. The money is important too, though. So, fuck you. And like, so he's blowing that off and also asking his teacher to borrow his car to get Debbie to her appointment. And the teacher's like, we're not really friends. And Lip's like, I wake you up every morning.
That part made me laugh.
It's like, yeah, we're not friends. I'm like your mother.
I'm your caretaker.
And he's like, all right, you can take the car if you take the internship meeting. And Lip's like, fine, I'll take the fucking meeting. Give me the car.
Fuck internships. If I want to worry about the future, I need to worry about right now.
Yeah, you got bills to pay, bitch. Back to Debbie, who is in class now with her dumbass bag of flour. And she raises her hand and says she needs to go and change her baby, who is, again, a bag of flour.
In this simulation, I am just a little confused because I'm like, so Debbie thinks that when she has a baby, she's going to bring that baby to class with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Like, no, Debbie, you're going to have to pay for a daycare or something.
Or take homework like she does.
Or study at home. Like she should be like, I don't know. I'm like, if she wanted to make the simulation a little more real, she should have like picked up an extra job or something. And then be taking care of the baby when she's at home.
But then at the same time, you are so right with like logistic reasons, but also remember how we see her talking to other girls at school with their babies. So I guess they do
Don't
allow.
They say that the
I
school
guess they
has like
allow
a daycare now or something.
I don't remember if they have the conversation, but we do see her on campus with girls with babies. So I guess there might be some leniency, or I guess maybe that school is common for that, so they have like a thing set in place. But
I don't, just because like I don't know, I feel like I never saw that.
But for logistic reasons, that makes so much sense for her to like, if you're actually going to play the role of being a teen mother, like you can't be bringing that baby to class, like English class with you.
It's so funny because my specific high school experience, I went to a tech school, and one of the options for the career major was like childhood management or like childhood development. So there was a daycare on the campus of my school that like the students worked at.
That's cool.
So like feasible, like if you were a teen mom, you could have your kid at
you just
that
so
daycare.
happen to be the lucky one with a daycare in school.
Right.
That's actually kind of dope. But yeah, no, like Lena, you're so right. Like realistically, that would be correct. But again, but we have to remember this is Shameless, and the amount of flaws it has will never satisfy us. But
it's also it's like for the plot.
Yeah, but I do like in this fucking like scene, the teacher, she's like, it's not my fault that you got yourself knocked up. And then like as she get up, the guy in the class, he's like, can my imaginary friend go take a dump?
Yeah, like because he's ultimately like
SpongeBob.
He's like, that's a bag of flour. But I also don't want to deal with this. So yeah, get the fuck out of my classroom.
That teacher is like a character actor. I've definitely seen him in things before. He's played just like a teacher before, I bet.
At the alibi, Kev and V are also spinning out about Debbie being pregnant, while Kev installs a bike rack for the hipsters. Svetlana hands Kev a magazine with an article calling the alibi the skankiest, shittiest bar on the South Side with the meanest Russian bartender. And that's a hit. It's a rave review.
No, literally, because it's like, hipsters love that shit.
No, dude, where do you think I go to bars?
Yeah, right.
I don't want to go to a clean place. Fuck out of here.
They aren't super sure how they feel about it, but Kev's like, hey, I've never been the best at anything, so I'll take it. Back at the hospital, Frank has lunch with Bianca's doctor friend who stopped him from getting fucking arrested. And then he makes a move on her. And she's like, hi, the only reason Bianca fucked with you is because she was dying of cancer. So, grain of salt with that.
She was like, do you ever, like, sit and think why, like, a person like her would be hanging out with a person like you? Like, she just, like, fucking gets him.
And then we join Carl at the school. He's selling, what was in the backpack? Guns. He's selling guns.
This was, I'm trying to think, like, politically what was going on at the time. How soon after Sandy Hook do you think this was? Oh, this was 2016?
Sandy Hook was
years
in
before. Yeah, years
like,
before.
2009, I think.
No,
but
it wasn't
10?
that early. But this 2016 was right after Trump got elected. So I think this was maybe either right before or the year after Parkland.
Sandy Hook
Yeah,
was
let's see.
012. I mean 012 fucking
No,
I'm an
Parkland
idiot.
was 2018.
Yeah, because I was in high school.
Parkland was like Parkland was like Valentine's Day or something, so this was before.
Well, this is 3 years before. Parkland was 2018.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 16.
No, 2018.
And then
But
Sandy
yeah,
was 12.
but it is still a response to like school shootings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
more
pretty sure. 'Cause
relevant than
there
it
was
would have been.
Well, there was a lot of debate at the time. I remember, like, during the general election, like, a bunch of the debate questions for Trump were like, what are you going to do about guns? And they were like, we need to arm the teachers.
Yeah. This was during Trump's campaign, if this was 2016, because he got sworn in 2017.
Because this was January.
Oh, right. He
And
was
then this
elected.
But this would
right,
have
right,
been
right, right, right. You're
filmed.
correct.
This was filmed in 2015.
A year
though.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
But
correct.
he's selling guns in the bathroom at school. Very Charlie Bartlett of him. But at least he's being selective with the people he sells. He like is asking them why they want the guns. And so he doesn't sell a gun to the kid who just hates his brother, but he does sell one to the kid who is afraid of dying in a school shooting. So he has morals, I guess. There's no justifying his actions. It's just.
Yeah, like, it's, like, funny for Carl to be like, I'm gonna pick and choose who can have access to this because of my own morals, too. And I'm like, what moral? You're selling guns in a fucking high school.
At Patsy's, they're still in the middle of the lunch rush. Fiona is always in the weeds, perpetually in the weeds. But V shows up with prescription drugs, and Fiona takes a smoke break.
She's like, who called the Ativan?
And she's trying to think of all the ways to get Debbie to have an abortion, by choice or not, and that is when she brings up, like, what if I crush up some pills and, like, put it in a drink?
Yeah.
And V is like, please, as a medical professional, I am asking you not to do that. Please don't do that.
And then she's like, this Ativan's not working. She was like, it's kind of old.
Yeah. Carl, this one jumps around a lot. Carl finally goes to class and brings Nick with him. The teacher tries to kick Nick out because who are you? And Carl stands up for him. Back to Frank. Like, it's very, like, boppity boppity bop in this episode. Back to Frank, who has put Bianca's coat back on and heads up to he's wearing her, like, doctor coat. And he goes up to the oncology ward because having that conversation sparked in him, like, oh, she talked to me because she was dying of cancer. I'm gonna go find someone else who's dying of cancer.
Bianca.
And so he's, like, looking for someone else who's terminal to fall in love with him. And this is when Debbie approaches the other teen moms at the school and tries to bond with them. And they're like, hey, being a mom is hard, and my vag will never be the same, and trying to find childcare is difficult, and this is hard.
The girl's like, my mom won't babysit my baby so I can go to the mall with my friends.
Isn't Brielle Barbusco one of the teen
Yep.
moms?
Yep.
who
Yes,
was
she
Ethan's
is.
long-term girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, and then she's
was
the
she?
sister of that one kid from
Thomas
the Mick.
Barbuska,
Yeah.
and her and Emma are still really close friends, still like best friends. Even though her and Ethan like aren't together anymore, they're on good terms. I'm pretty sure.
But I think Ethan and Thomas are friends, though.
that is also true. They're all just kind of friends.
They all were, like, kids in the same, like, era of, like, raunchy TV, so, like, of course they all were friends.
Yeah. Lip is coming to school with the car to pick Debbie up. Like, the other girl's mom picked them up, and then Lip pulls up, and she's like, what are you here for? And he's like, I'm here to drive you home from school. She's like, home or the clinic? Where are we going, Lip? And she's like, are you here to talk me into going to the appointment? And he's like, I was going to, because I just want what's best for you. Are you sure about not wanting to go? And she just leaves. And then she tries to call Derek again, but now the number is no longer in service. Girl, he went to Florida to get away from you. Like, you know how bad things have to get to voluntarily go to Florida? Side note, Jeremy Allen White looks fucking good in this episode.
Season 6 is his season.
Oh, he's got a scruff. Like, he looks good. Not the bear good, but good. Oh, he looks good. Over to Fiona at work. She's giving Ian shit for taking a break and not paying for his pie. Sorry. What? She's giving who shit? She's giving somebody shit.
Yeah, so, the scene is, it's like Ian and this other busboy, like, just taking their break, and she's like, you guys taking a break? And the guy's like, yeah, Ian said, like, well, that's cool, and Fiona's like, no, it's not, and 2, are you guys gonna pay for this pie? And Ian's like, it's chill, and Fiona's like, no, actually, it's not cool.
It's not, actually, so...
And Melinda catches all of this and gives her shit for it, and storms over to Sean to bitch about it, and... Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, yeah, no, they get in a bitch fit, and, like, Ian and Fiona fight, and then Fiona fires Ian. And...
He just takes his apron off and walks the fuck out.
Yeah, and Fiona tells Sean that she just fired Ian, and he says, good, you should have fired Ian. He wasn't good at this job.
That's kind of funny, though. Who's kind of right.
And then he admits he shot up heroin while he was cleaning out Otis's locker.
That's why he's been so weird.
And she's like, great. Do I now have to add this to my list of shit I have to worry about? Is that as if I don't have enough?
And he's like, that's literally why I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Right, like, I'm sorry. I was trying to help you.
And he's like, I have it handled. I don't know if I will do it again, but I'm going to meetings. I'm going to a lot of meetings. I'm going to so many meetings.
Well, it's also, like, not gonna lie with Fiona, but she kind of does have this, like, savior complex about it. But it's like, Fiona, he was an addict way before he met you, and he was sober way before he met you. Like, he knows how to handle this type, like, or how to navigate a lot of this type of thing. But obviously, we see how this starts to play out over the season.
Another thing I noticed with, like, their entire relationship is that she, like, as you said, with, like, the whole savior complex, is just, like, he literally tells her, he was like, I can't promise you I won't do it again. And she's like, but don't do it for me. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna try, but, like,
it's
can't
not
ask
about
that of
you.
me.
Yeah.
He was like, you cannot tell me not to do it. And she just, like, never, like, ever grasps that out of their entire relationship. And she continuously holds that against him. And he was like, girl, you knew my baggage getting into this. And yet you were still disappointed with the outcome.
That might go back to trauma from Frank and Monica with her, of being like, can't you pull it together for your family? Can't you just stop this for the sake of your children? Can't you just decide to be better at this? And, like, no, they're addicts.
I don't think Fiona understands until she becomes an addict herself, like, in season 9. Like, I don't think she understands how it is until it actually happens to her. And I do wonder, like, had she stuck around, had you know, the character stuck around, if that would have had any impact on, like, her relationships going forward, like, that new perspective.
And, like, addicts aren't bad people who choose to do these bad things just to fuck you over. It's like, they also don't want to be doing what they are doing.
Right, it's like, it's literally not about you.
It's like, this is what dating an addict is like. Sometimes he will slip, and then he has to do the work to make sure he doesn't do that again. And, like, that's his job. and all you have to do is ask him to be honest with you. Like, that's all you can expect from him. And she, like, if they can get it together, they can try to be sober again. Like, it's... Anyway, in the midst of all this, the nurse that's supposed to show up for Fiona's drug test shows up, but she literally just did prescription drugs with V earlier today.
What is Ativan, though, like, something, like, people just take, like, daily? Maybe she'd be like, I'm on meds.
But she has no prescription for it.
Oh, true.
But who knows if it'll show up in a normal piss test, though.
I mean, it is, like an anxiety medication, similar to Xanax. So, like...
They're probably looking for the hard shit, if anything, for, like, a drug test.
The thing is, like, they can do tests where literally everything shows up. Like, it can show up if you've taken ibuprofen in the last 48 hours. You know what I mean? But it's more just about, like, whether or not it's a drug that they'll care about. So, like, because Ativan is a common anxiety medication, I don't know.
Yeah. And then Sean, on the other hand, is like, I gotta dip.
Like, I gotta go.
I can't risk her asking me to also take a drug test. I'm gonna leave the building,
I'm gonna leave out the back real quick.
Meanwhile, the Alibis become a karaoke bar. Because a hipster recommends a song, and Svet tells him, "Okay, I will program it into karaoke machine, you cockhead."
Is this the scene? I don't know if it's this scene or if it's like a scene like a couple scenes later, but it's like Tommy singing like, "I want you to want me."
It is
It's
this
a
scene.
Cheap Trick
Yeah.
song, dude. That song, like this episode made me remember that song, and then I sang it at karaoke because I was just like, I love this song.
I need you to need me.
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You, you icon.
I see you crying.
It's so good, and Tommy's so good in it.
That song just immediately makes me think of 10 Things I Hate About You.
And then I forget what
makes me
song
think about
Kermit
Band Slam.
sings. Kermit sings like a really
The
funny
movie
song.
Band Slam. Yeah.
Kev comes back with a fresh crate of beer and asks, "Hey, when the fuck did we get a karaoke machine?" And Svet's like, "A half an hour ago. I'm also getting a barber's chair and charging $30 for straight razor cuts."
She's so funny
Like,
this episode. Literally, just like she keeps on just finding fun things. Like she's a great businesswoman.
she was just waiting for, like, come on, give me some sense of being able to take over some part of this bar. Yes? Okay, I'm gonna make us so much money, actually. And then Debbie goes to the salon where Derek's sister-in-law works and asks, "Hey, where the fuck is Derek? His number is bad now. What is his new number?" And she's like, "I don't get it. You were an outsider of the family, and you had a baby, and Derek's family loved you." And she's like, "Babe, the family didn't ask Derek to move away. Derek decided to get the fuck away from you. Derek ran away from you, Debbie. Get it through your head."
She was like, "You trapped him. Like he did not want to have the baby."
You literally baby trapped him. You told him you were on birth control. That's
And
why
you
he had
lied.
sex with you unprotected. Like, what did you think was gonna happen, girl? She's like, our
Yeah, and
miracle baby.
These are two very different circumstances.
she says, she's like, "Derek doesn't want a baby. He wants to join the Air Force. He has left you because he does not want this." And Debbie said she didn't mean to trap him. Girl, what the fuck do you mean?
No. And like she's like, he wants to be in the army, and like you would have known that if you ever fucking asked him what he wanted to do with his life. It was just like, Debbie, you didn't care about him. You cared about having a baby.
Yeah. You wanted to not be alone. That's all you cared about.
Well, because it's like you tried to do it with Maddie already. Like, you don't care who the guy is.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
She's thinking only of herself. This is Debbie's villain era. I hate her. I don't care if you're 15 years old. I'll beat you up. Actually, don't quote me on that.
This just
that,
in.
cut that.
Evan will beat up a 15-year-old.
Canceled.
I've already been canceled. It's fine.
And then she gets on the train and accidentally leaves the flower baby on the train. So fuck
funny.
up. Come on.
So funny. She's like, my baby!
Also, at train tracks, Frank is trying to talk one of the women he talked to in the oncology ward. She's dying of cancer. He wants her to be his next Bianca. He's like, "Come on, let's smoke some crack and bond." He gives her the crack. She immediately passes out. She does not have a pulse. He has killed this lady. He runs away.
Just him running away is so
Laugh
funny.
track.
You
Because what the hell? Why did they just write this into the episode? They were like, and Frank killed a woman.
you stay on the dead woman and you just see him running out of frame, and it's so bad.
He just casually
Well, it's like,
kills a woman.
And that had, like, no effect on his plotline going forward. Like, he literally was like, oops. Laugh track.
Whoopsie.
Like, whoopsie.
Body count.
Killed a woman.
Back at work, Fiona calls Lip to check in about the whole Debbie thing. This has been a day. He tells her it was a no-go. She didn't go to the clinic. And then she hangs up and she's sitting in the room with the nurse who did her drug test. And the woman's like, don't worry, I'll make a note of your pre-existing condition, the pregnancy. And Fiona's like, oh, you overheard my phone call. My sister's pregnancy? What do you mean? And the lady's like, no. Your pregnancy. Did you... Surprise! Like,
Amanda, you're so right. Like, it has been a day. Like, this has
Jaw
only been a
dropped.
day of just like.
I remember this plotline being so good, though. Literally, I was like, jaw drop.
Damn.
the way the woman delivered the news too. Like, girl, you're clearly revealing to Fiona that she is pregnant. Like, she's like, surprise!
Right.
Isn't this happy
Like,
news?
she should have been like, oh.
And I love,
You're
I remember watching
pregnant.
this scene, and like, I bet like everyone watching the scene for the first time was like, whose baby is it? Like, whose
I mean,
baby?
baby is
whose
it?
baby is it? Because
I figured it was Sean. There was, oh, right, because there was like no time jump.
because like it could literally be because like she hasn't taken a pregnancy test, so she could be like literally like a couple weeks, and like it's
Well,
been
like,
a couple weeks since she's been with
doesn't
Gus.
she say something? She's like, it could be Jimmy's, it could be Gus's, it could be Sean's. Like, it literally
Yeah.
could be any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dun,
Girl.
dun, dun.
I bet it was Jimmy's. Or no, he never finished.
No,
No.
it has to be Gus's if anyone.
I bet it was Gus's. If it's not Sean's, it's, well, duh, this is the only guy she's
Yeah.
had sex with. But, like, still.
Fiona comes home. She gets that news and comes home later looking for Debbie and catches Debbie packing a bag. And she tries to get Debbie to go to the clinic with her one more time. And once again, Debbie refuses. And then she says, this is so cruel. She says she doesn't want Fiona fucking the baby up like she fucked all of them up.
Fuck you, Debbie.
She was a child
Would
raising
have been
children.
way more fucked up if she wasn't involved.
Yeah.
Way more fucked up.
She literally saved your life from Monica and fucking Frank. She saved your goddamn life.
Well, yeah, it's like you would be dead.
And Debbie says she's going to Florida because she lives in the land of Delulu. She is delusional.
Well, no, for real. It's like, girl, how are you going to get there? With what
Yeah.
money? Be honest.
She says she's going to Florida, and Fiona bodily wrestles her to the ground
I remember
outside.
she starts yelling at her.
Slams
She's
her
like,
down.
you're getting an abortion! Like,
Lip pulls up in the car to them on the lawn wrestling and breaks them apart. And then later that night, Kev and V and the babies are woken up by Giannis doing some more bullshit in the backyard. And Kev sneaks into Giannis's yard and cuts the throttle to his motorcycle so that it can't make any more noise.
I love his little walk though, because he's in his robe and a speedo.
it's like, Evan.
Yeah. Sean
Amanda.
comes to join Fiona in bed. He was coming in from another meeting. He says again to her, he cannot promise he won't use again, but he can promise he will try not to use again, which is all he can do.
Yeah, it's what he's been saying, but she can't understand that.
Yeah. But Fiona, she takes that in, and then she flips the morning on him and says she covers his mouth and pulls what he pulled on her in the morning.
Guess what? I
And we
skipped
get
through
another-
that part too when I watched it. I said, no, thank
like,
you.
Turn your brain off, breathe into your body, and she fucks him good. She fucks him good. Also, Fiona Little Miss No Condom. Of course you're pregnant!
No, literally.
She's only fucking with one dude right now. What I don't really understand is why Fiona isn't just like on birth control though.
I bet she is,
I
but
bet
I've
she is.
never seen this woman put a condom on one of the men she's fucking. Ever.
No, I know, but like, well, yes, but also I'm like, I'm like, her getting pregnant, like, is she not on birth control?
She has to be. Any woman would be.
I'm sure she is on birth control, but girl,
don't talk about that. Sorry.
come on, girl. You know that shit ain't
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
effective?
No, yeah. I remember she was taking the condoms at
Oh,
Debbie's
wait,
birth control
wait.
appointment. And she was like, "What? It's free."
Wait.
So that's why I was like, "Oh, is she not on?" Like, I guess she's not on because she only had like one partner at the time. pretty sure.
Isn't there that scene though at the end of season 5 when they're all at the clinic together and Fiona's talking to the lady at right
That's
after? Doesn't Fiona say, "Oh, like can I get like a refill on birth control?" And then I think doesn't Debbie pop in and then she's like, "Oh, can I start the pill?" Or am I just thinking wrong? Because I feel like Fiona says something about it to the doctor, being like, "Hey, can I?" Yes, no, because she goes, "Hey,
it is something
yes,
like
no."
that.
It's because she goes, "Oh, because I finally got insurance. It beats waiting at the line at the free clinic for birth control. Can I just get a prescription through you instead?" And they're like, "Yeah, for sure."
Yeah.
And then Debbie's like,
Debbie's
"Oh, can I get on the
I would
pill?"
like some of that, please.
Oh, my brain! Look at me go. But yeah,
Okay, memory.
so she is on. Oh, I don't know if she is. Maybe going to the free clinic, but she ain't
But,
getting
like,
that insurance.
also-
She like missed a day or something. Like who knows?
Yeah. Like, the chaos of her life, I'm sure she didn't take it one day.
How many people in the world get pregnant on birth control, guys?
That was I'm pretty sure that was season 4, by the way, because that was when she had insurance through the cup place.
The cup company. Okay, then yes.
That
so
was
yeah,
like forever
2
ago.
seasons ago.
But, like, PSA,
Yeah.
it's not 100% effective, so, like, also use a
That
condom.
too,
Yeah, I was
Like,
about to say, like, how many women get pregnant on birth control every fucking year? Like, come on.
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty damn effective, but yeah.
Yeah. The next morning, that damn motorcycle wakes them up again. Giannis is riding it down the block, and they're like, "I don't understand. I thought you cut the throttle. How is he riding it right now?" And Kev's like, "I did cut the throttle cable." He didn't. There were 2 cables. One was...
Because he's like, he was like, it's either the throttle cable or the brake cable. And then it's just...
Literally, the show's a sitcom.
Yeah.
As soon as, like, the editing and the pacing of the whole thing, it's like, or the brakes. He gets hit by a car.
It's like dick shot for Kev and then Giannis getting smacked by a car.
Yeah, Giannis gets hit by a fucking car, and that's the end of the goddamn episode.
So funny.
The after credit sequence, Frank tries to burn all of Bianca's stuff and sets the back shed on fire instead. And the credit song was it's a techno song called Runaway by Boss House.
Oh, they love to use Boss House in the show soundtrack.
I forgot to look up the trailer for the next episode, so next time on Shameless.
Next one is the F word, right?
Yeah, next
me
word
see.
is the F word.
A
Lip
familiar
gets
face makes a
Ian.
return.
Lip gets Ian a job at the school. Fiona tries to make an appointment for her and Debbie to get abortions. Fiona goes to meet up with Gus again to get some closure and to apologize. Do you
Frank
know anything
teaches-
about the F word?
Frank teaches Debbie how to work the welfare system. Kevin and Veronica visit a paralyzed Giannis to try to make amends, only to have Giannis arrive home and try to kill the 2 Lisas with Kev's truck.
With Kev's
Okay.
truck.
Season 6 is a wild one. It's a wild season. Kev has a pickup truck. Apparently,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
that's
I'm
not-
totally.
that's
I just
not-
watched that scene. I was trying to remember what scene. Oh yeah, Sorry, I remember what scene that is now. But that's
But this
literally just
episode-
that's the very beginning of the episode. Giannis does more.
This episode was 24 hours.
Yeah,
This was one day.
12 hours.
Yeah, it's morning to bed. That was this episode, and then the little bit. In
Oh
the
yeah, I
next
forgot morning time
like,
at the end. Oh,
But like, Jesus Christ,
Amanda, how are you feeling? Let us hear it.
this season, I hate Debbie so much.
I know. And guess what, girl? We're on episode 2.
I know. I feel like she's gonna be so much of this season, and I just hate her so bad.
This season is like all about
Lena, does
her.
she pop at the end of this season, right?
Yeah,
Or at the
'cause,
very beginning of the
'cause
next season?
It's after they
Queenie.
leave Queenie.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more of Fiona and Sean. I know that it explodes, but I am excited to see more of this. This is an interesting relationship to watch.
It's nice though to
Like,
say though that Sean
it is really interesting the way it explodes. as
Sean
well.
lasts until the very end of season 7, right?
Yeah. It's Sean. So her with Jimmy was like a constant bubbling fucking mess all the time. And also he wanted to take care of her. Sean is a little bit more grounded, but like has that simmering, I am an addict, things could go bad at any time mess. But he is more like present and here and can actually help, can get her a job, can help with the family.
He's the chaotic neutral.
Well, it's like Jimmy is Jimmy so desperately tries to hold it together but never can. Sean so desperately is succeeding at holding it together until he can't anymore.
Yeah.
No,
like
here it
until
is.
he just blows up.
You have Gus as chaotic good. You have Sean as like chaotic, like neutral, and then you have like Steve as like chaotic, just like fuck all.
Well, here's the thing, like, because Steve was immediately integrated in the family, but was also a fucking chaos junkie. Gus made absolutely no attempt. He's like, I fell in love with you, and now come over here and like ignore your responsibilities. And then Sean is like, I know you have responsibilities. I would like to help you with that, but also I could explode at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's such an interesting, relationship. Yeah. It's just, I'm enjoying watching it. Also, Dermot's killing it. He's very
Dermot Mulroney. I would kiss him on the lips.
But yeah, that like feel like that's what's gonna get me through this season is that I am very much interested in. Ian was in 3.5 minutes of this episode, and whatever.
We
He's
get some
so
good
nothing
Ian.
In this season, to be honest. Like
we get like good
know.
Ian scenes, but we don't get good Ian plot lines.
Yeah, I am so sick of Debbie and would like her to get her comeuppance, but I know she never does, which is so fucking annoying. But I'm wholly in the Lip and Fiona of it all in this season, so that I can.
I forget. Is there anything to look
it.
forward to in this season, or is it just like a pretty entertaining season, Lena? I think it's just entertaining, right?
When does Caleb come in?
Next season.
Okay.
No, it's this season.
Is it this season?
They break up at the beginning of next season.
Gotcha. Okay, so like halfway through this season.
Ian does have a pretty interesting arc. Like, I mean, I would say Lip is probably the highlight of the season in a sad way.
Yeah,
like it's a progression you don't want to see, but like
very college era
is
Lip.
really necessary. Well, this is when he kind of starts to fall apart.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
But no, this is when he's doing his like internship and stuff with like the cool guys. No, wait, I'm thinking after he gets.
This show does a lot of wasting the fact that they have Academy Award nominated William H. Macy on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Frank doesn't really do much of note. The entirety, like his whole season is spent like helping Debbie pretty much.
But I will say he carries season 7.
Yeah.
With the homeless stuff. That's such a funny plot line.
It is
so
funny. Good. Yeah. Is this the season with the defenestration of Frank?
I don't know.
Which one is that?
Because
next season is
all I
Trevor.
know is that Frank gets thrown out of a window.
That's next season. Because that's Trevor with the homeless house on the shelter on the street.
Yeah, that's not this season.
All the homeless people throw him out the window.
This season ends with Familia Supragalliglorious, that one.
Oh, God. What even happens in that one? I'm pretty sure, Debbie gives birth.
The defenestration of Frank is season 7, episode 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Sean does not last through this season. Season 6.
No,
season 6 episode.
Debbie has her baby like the second to last episode, and then the wedding is like the last episode. Gotcha. Okay.
Sean does not last. I knew something sounded wrong about that because I was like, no, season 7 finale is when Monica dies.
Gotcha.
I'm also really excited to see more of this professor character because all I know about him is that Lip ends up naming his child after this man.
Yeah, Ewens. I love Ewens. It's a really Ewens is really
sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad. I don't know.
Really
Lip naming his kid after him was a little interesting, but also Ewens in a lot of ways like saved his life. So
he saved and ruined his life at the same time. It was weird.
But yeah,
he was grooming Lip to be him, but like also supporting him.
But then he was the one who also got him out.
Yeah, it was like a weird situation. Anyways, I think Amanda, you're definitely going to be entertained. I think you'll have a lot of feelings on a lot of topics that we're about to go through all together, but it's a good anticlimactic but like entertaining.
I have to lean into the Fiona of it all. The Fiona and Lip. They are like when in the absence of Ian and Mickey. Yeah. Fiona and Lip are my lifeline in this show.
But you see Gus next episode and I love him.
Because Emmy and Jeremy are just so damn good. They're just so damn good and interesting to watch. The fact that neither of them ever got an Emmy for this is a fucking crime.
I will say Kevin V get a lot of spotlight this season too. Like I feel like they were on the back burner like the previous season, but I feel like they have a lot like they have a lot of fun
they do a lot with
lines.
Svetlana. Yeah, because Svetlana starts becoming integrated into their story.
Is this
I already am
with the
obsessed with
van?
her. She is my girl boss. So
The booby van? Is that next season?
I think it's next season.
they get rid of the booby van in season 10.
This season is just the progression of like the throuple
Gotcha.
and
Booby
the
van only is
bar-
like there for like 2
and
episodes.
the bar starts becoming like more profitable.
Yeah. I've
And-
never gotten to see the heyday of Svetlana because she's gone by season 10.
Yeah.
So I've never seen anything without Mickey with her.
I'm fairly certain though that this is like before the bar becomes full like communist bar though.
Yeah, this is way before that.
Yeah.
That's not until they're like all beefing.
Yeah.
And that's not
there's
until
something
season 10.
Frank does have like a moment where Frank does have a little bit of a moment before like the Queenie stuff. With
Oh, I don't think Amanda. Amanda, do you know who Queenie is?
Carl.
Oh, so
No,
Amanda
okay, so
doesn't.
we're
even
just
know who
dropping a
Queenie
name.
is.
That's fine.
Yep, we're just name dropping. Well, that's okay because I want you to learn. I want you to meet.
So
her.
Frank spends part of the season helping Debbie, and then he spends like part of the season helping Carl. And then when some Carl stuff falls apart, like Frank
he
steps
really
in.
steps up.
No, that's Sean. But
True.
Frank steps into Carl's shoes instead, and then that's where Queenie starts to get involved.
All right.
So
I don't know.
Looking back at these synopses, I'm like, yeah, this season is a wild ride.
The only characters that I know exist that I like are in seasons that I haven't watched are Trevor and Caleb.
That's so funny. So Queenie is a
Caleb
new
shows up in
person.
episode 4, I want to say.
It's after when Ian like pulls that guy out of like the car or something like that.
Well, but the only reason he does is because okay. But we're spoiling. I'm like
don't
Ian.
don't spoil
I'm
stuff.
like Ian's not even interested in Caleb. That's not what he's there for.
No, he's
but
there for
yeah.
someone else. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway,
anyway,
the next episode's a really good episode. The one after that is really good as well.
F you Fiona, great episode. I sing that song all the time.
hopefully it will take less than a month for us to record the next one.
Woo!
And then we'll see when it is that we get to post them.
Yeah.
So wherever it is in the future that this is getting posted, hey, did the Phillies make it to the playoffs? It's not looking good, but I have hope.
I hope for you.
Yeah, they lost today, which was sad, but they won the last 2 days, so
Nice.
that was good. Yeah. But anyway, it's the international sign of we're done recording is that I have to pee so bad.
Me too. And I'm hungry.
I don't, but I am hungry.
I loved
so.
watching the sun behind Lena set within recording.
Yeah.
And then I was like, midway through, I was like, should I turn my overhead light on? Because I have my lamp on. But then I was like, I don't want to get up.
But anyway, until next time, y'all, thank you for hanging out with us. This was still a relatively short one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we spent like 20 minutes talking about other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, season 6, without Mickey, what do you talk about, honestly?
Exactly.
I'm sure it's the first 2 episodes of the season. We will get into the meat
It's just
of
getting
stuff.
slow to
Yeah.
start. It really starts picking up next episode.
We just had the
and
appetizers.
The next couple ones after that. Yeah.
The meat and potatoes are coming.
Speaking of, let's all go eat.
Yes!
Everybody, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See you next
Bye.
time. Bye.
Bye.